This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. For too long, women's serious midlife health issues have been trivialized, ignored, and met with a just deal with it attitude. Many of us have been made to feel ashamed or forgotten. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But here's the powerful truth. It's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI is not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic, founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. What sets MIDI apart? We are the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance companies, making high-quality expert care accessible and affordable. Our clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. We offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions, from hormonal therapies and weight loss protocols to lifestyle coaching and preventative health guidance. This isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will join our patients who feel seen, heard, and prioritized. You will find that our mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the health care they deserve. Because we believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And here we are, the very first Car Con Carne of the new year, Car Con Carne here in quarantine. I'm James Van Alstyne, and earlier this week I made the announcement. I'm really excited about this. Coming up throughout the year, I'll be partnering with the Brent Sopel Foundation. Brent Sopel, Stanley Cup winner, former Chicago Blackhawk, partnering with the Brent Sopel Foundation to do interviews with celebrities, be they actors, athletes, musicians who've struggled with dyslexia before they became famous. And we'll be talking about those struggles and other stuff. Really excited to be partnering with the Brent Sopel Foundation. If you want, you should sign up for the newsletter. You can click the newsletter link on carconcarne.com to find out everything that's coming up on Car Con Carne. And if you know of someone who's doing something cool who should be talked to on Car Con Carne, fill out the Want to be a Guest link on carconcarne.com. I get a lot of emails, publicity stuff coming from all directions, to my email, to Facebook, to Instagram. This was just an easier way for me to consolidate all that. Okay, so my first guest of the new year is an old friend. He is a Car Con Carne favorite. He is Stavros Giannopoulos of the Atlas Moth. I'm wearing the ceremonial Atlas Moth garb tonight, you may realize. I'm wearing the handsome Atlas Moth hoodie. Stavros, thank you for joining us. We're at the tattoo shop tonight, aren't we?
We are, yeah. Hey, and what an honor. The first guest of the year. I was unaware. You just pulled that out in the intro. You didn't even give me a heads up on that.
Well, what better way to start the new year than with our friend Stavros from the Atlas Moth? I'm wearing the ceremonial garb. I've got my Atlas Moth music ready to go.
Right on, right on. That's more Atlas Moth than going on all year. So there's that.
Well, I know that's the perfect, I guess, dovetail into what's going on. I see a lot of stuff scrolling by on my timeline on social media. Sometimes it's hard to just figure out or pay attention to what I'm zooming past. I dropped anchor on a picture of your adorable dog, Bobo. And in clicking on that picture, I came to learn that you've been doing this Kickstarter, a Bobo calendar, 12 months of your dog, Bobo.
That's right. That's right. He's an English bulldog. He's a little bit under 2 years old. He came from my sister, who I believe you talked to, right?
Oh, absolutely. That was a lovely experience.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. My sister runs the Chicago Bully Breed Rescue. And I had a dog from her that passed away last October. She was almost 15, another bulldog. Her name was Estelle. And I was not didn't think I was gonna be ready for another dog, and then this little goblin popped up, and who could say no to him, you know? So me and my girlfriend have been posting his photos all year because he does ridiculous shit all the time, man. And we were like, you know what? People seem to want to look at him all the time. You know, why not ask for help in a way of offering something as opposed to just, holding my hand out. I'm not really that kind of guy.
Well, and you said it. This has been such a brutal year for everyone in the music community, the Atlas Moth.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I saw you face to face, you were in my car and we did a Car Con Carne interview in February of 2020. The world was the Atlas Moth's oyster. We were getting ready for you to do Kuma's Fest on the Northwest side. I mean, everything was looking awesome. And then, of course, the bottom dropped out and the Atlas Moth had nowhere to go, nowhere to play, nothing to do.
I mean, we were set to, open for Anthrax and Converge. Yeah. And our buddies in Russian Circles, which, mind you, I think the Converge is our Achilles heel. Because every time we've been scheduled to play with that band, it's gotten canceled somehow. So maybe that was in the cards. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I brought on COVID-19.
They're cursed. Maybe they practice.
How tight is your tinfoil hat? Is what I'm asking.
Maybe they practice or record above an ancient burial ground or something. Maybe they tapped into.
Either that or us.
It could be the Atlas. Yeah, maybe it's not about them. Maybe it's about you.
Maybe it's not. Yeah, but I mean, things were looking ready to go. We were going to do that fest, and our plan was to go and write a new record. And now that's on hold indefinitely. All of us are trying to struggle paying rent and keep. I invested in a bar with Sanford Parker of Chicago music fame, recording everybody under the sun. Dave from the Atlas Moth started a new age online store. Andrew and his wife from the Atlas Moth, they opened up a bar called Kite String. It's still going. They're holding down strong. I mean, like, we had all this stuff going on, and now here we are. We're not touring. We're not playing music because we can't afford to really take the time out of our schedules. Yeah. It means more to me to make rent, not get kicked out of my house at this point. None of us have family to fall back on. That's how it goes. It's been a bummer of a year. But you know what? The dogs, oddly enough, brought myself and a lot of other people a lot of joy.
I love that. And certainly a calendar of your adorable dog, Bobo, doesn't replace touring revenue, merch revenue. But it's something, and it's a way to kind of spread. I mean, I'm sure Bobo was the bright spot of 2020.
He was the only bright spot of 2020, No, honestly. So.
Well,
I mean, that's the thing too. It's like I'm not not to hate on anybody that does this. By all means, you have to do what you have to do. But I'm not the person to sit there and expect someone to hand me $20 for nothing. That's not how I've ever been. It's not how I ever will be. So it was kind of cool to have something like this to fall back on, and like I said, make everybody else a little bit happy, make myself comfortable for at least a month. You know what I mean? I think you should get a job anyway. Look at him.
So let's talk about this. For people listening after the fact of the podcast, there's Bobo reclining against like an Afghan blanket, wearing an old school like Michelin.
Yeah, I'm not sure what shirt that is. I'll be honest with you. I'm not the one who dresses him. So,
who doesn't love seeing animals in people clothes?
Yeah, right.
It's a universal.
Also, he sits like that on his own.
He's like
he's in a recliner. I should point that out. You can't really tell, but in the other picture you can see he sits on his ass like a human.
So this calendar.
And he watches TV.
Not to bury the lead, the calendar is on Kickstarter. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this on January 3rd, you have until the afternoon of January 4th to support the calendar, $25 to get your very own copy, 12 months of Bobo in these provocative poses.
He's quite provocative. I'm looking at him. I see him every day. He still makes me laugh. So.
Look at that face. Look at those teeth. Look at the wrinkles around his nose. What an adorable little goblin. You said it.
He's a goblin. Yeah, he absolutely is. He's the sweetest guy too. He just wants to hug you all the time and be held. He's like a little boy, honestly. He's something. I mean, look at this. That was literally earlier today. He was sitting like that watching TV. Apparently, he has a really a love-hate relationship with Tommy Lee Jones, I was told. Every time he popped up on the screen, he was barked at. So if you don't like Tommy Lee Jones, perhaps he has something in common with the dog.
Which means he's only seen Batman Forever. If he if he'd seen The Fugitive,
right?
Okay,
that's what I said. Mm-hmm. What an incredible film!
What an incredible film, for
and
real.
In Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yes.
Which
that movie holds up better after a rewatch than I remember.
I thought that was my favorite Marvel movie forever.
I think Winter Soldier topped it, but going back to that first Captain America, really good.
Oh yeah, really good. All the Captain America movies are my favorite. And then everything else.
And then everything else. By the way, I can't listen to any news about Marvel's TV or movie plans because until you give me something new, it all just seems like.
Well, I mean, technically, I've been waiting for a Black Widow movie, and I don't even think it exists.
Right. So
when I hear about their trailer,
as they talk about their plans for Phase 5 or whatever, I'm like, can we just get caught up with Black Widow, the Eternals, and Shang-Chi? I don't want to hear about anything else right now.
I don't believe anything's ever happening again. That's where I'm at in life. Everyone's like, well, you guys are going to work on music. It's like, well, why? Nothing's ever going to happen again. All of us are not working for the machine, like we're all stuck. We're all cog or gears of the cog or whatever, Like, it's awful.
That's depressing. And I wish better things for all of us, certainly for our friends in the music business and for our friends who own restaurants and bars or invest in restaurants and bars. I know it's been tough, but the Kickstarter, for those of us who want to have Bobo's handsome mug adorning our walls, where do we find this on Kickstarter?
Let me get the exact address here. I don't know if it's a quick, I believe if you just go to Kickstarter, it's Bobo 12 months a year.
A 12-month calendar featuring Bobo the dog.
That's right. And it keeps the Atlas Moth home, roof over his head, one of them at least, and hopefully be able to put out a record when all this seems to finally come to an end, because God knows we're all dying.
But the irony, of course, being everyone said cannot wait for 2020 to be over. Won't that be amazing? We're still in the same situation right now. I get the symbolic reset. Okay, here's a clear separation on the calendar to distance ourselves. But yeah, I mean, things are still really fucking hard for people in entertainment and.
Everyone also has to. This hasn't been brought up enough, and I'd like to bring it up every chance I get. But everyone has to realize that 2021 isn't all of a sudden everybody's coming back. 2021 is 2020 redo. So that means that any spots that were available out there to tour, I've already been told, like unless it's European bands not allowed into the United States, that there's not going to be a whole lot of touring going on for anything that wasn't happening next year. So I mean, it's not going to just be all of a sudden everyone's going to be back. Everything's going to be perfect here. I mean, bands are. Well, we're going to probably not have a record out now until 2022. So I mean, that's where we're at.
So in the meantime, we can support you by buying the Bobo calendar on Kickstarter. Yes. But also for people who want to support the Atlas Moth, what's the best way? Would it be a Bandcamp?
Instagram is great. I'm going to actually be putting up. We have so much leftover merch. It's incredible. But I have to get over there to the spot and actually go through it, which hasn't been easy to do. Once again, yes, there's money to be made there, but it's also I have responsibilities that I need to, maintain a living. So if you hit me up, though, hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. I could definitely go and find some T-shirts for you. But if not, we'll probably be putting them up next week. There's also Holy Mountain Printing, holymountainprinting.com. I think it is Holy Mountain. They are online merch starting. We have designs up there for sale.
Awesome. Well, the artwork that blesses the Atlas Moth's release is absolutely fantastic. Full credit.
Thank you.
The music's fantastic. I think a dark winter like the one we're in right now demands the Atlas Moth.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit of afraid. Don't listen to our third record. You might not make it through. But yeah, we definitely are quite the soundtrack to a depressing season, no matter what it is.
Well,
a dark summer.
I'm just glad you found your niche.
Yeah, exactly. my parents are very proud.
No doubt. All right, and they should be. Honestly, the Atlas Moth is such a great band. Bobo, 12 months a year, the calendar. Who does not want an adorable dog in people's clothes on their wall? The answer: no one. We all want that. So. Kickstarter, search.
Yeah, I don't think you have a reflection if you don't want it. So
that's exactly right. Well, I know you're working right now. You're at the tattoo shop. I'll let you go back to doing your thing. I wish you more success on the Kickstarter. I wish you and the rest of the band all good things.
Thank you, brother. You too as well. I look forward to eating somewhere in your car sometime in the future, hopefully sooner than later.
Absolutely.